The Volk GTC wheel has been a staple of the drift scene since the 2000s when D1GP was at its peak and style still had a huge influence on the sport. Seeing so many of the hero cars from my childhood, like the top secret Supras and GDRs, as well as many demo cars from shops like Vertex and even on the front cover of the Need for Speed Underground 2 game, definitely cemented those wheels as something very special to me. And I decided that I would build a set of these as the visual centerpiece for my next build, my C35 Nissan Laurel street car. I managed to find a set for sale locally in weak sizes, luckily though in the more appealing Face 2 center type, which has a more concave face shape. So I grabbed them fairly cheap, but there was a lot of work to be done. As you can see, these wheels were not cared for and had been painted maybe more than once. The lips weren't a problem, as I planned on widening these wheels, but the centers had to be polished to match my vision. Typically, these wheels came in a gold center, but to bring a bit of current day flair to them, I wanted to go with a full polish on the centers and lips. So first up was disassembling and paint stripping before sending the centers away to be ceramic polished. After receiving these back from polishing, I realized that the wheel nut reliefs are very small from factory, and you're supposed to run a specific wheel nut for these, which wasn't going to work with the vision I had of running my blue wheel nuts that match the blue titanium hardware that I had custom made to build these wheels with. This was done to tie into the blue Endless Racing brake kit that I had bought for the Laurel as well. So the centers were yet again sent off, this time to have the wheel nut recesses CNC machined out to a larger diameter. Another thing with these wheels is they're a two-piece construction from factory, so the barrel and lip is all one piece with a single flange that the center bolts to. To widen these wheels, I had to cut the lips from the barrel, leaving the mounting flange attached to the back half of the wheel, essentially converting these to a three-piece design. I then had new lips spun up to the width that I required to bring these wheels up to the sizes I needed. The next issue was that in the mounting flange that the face bolts to, there are slots cut that are visible through the center and are a big part, in my opinion, of the overall look of these iconic wheels. So I bought some tiny little cutting burrs for my electric router and got to work carefully and painstakingly cutting each slot by hand that had been traced through from the factory barrel. The next problem was that the centers have a shoulder that locates on the flange of the wheel lip that transfers the forces put through the center into the wheel barrel. But this shoulder is only deep enough to locate on one of the flanges as per factory. But now I'm sandwiching two flanges together. So the decision was made that once the wheel was reassembled, I would weld the lips back onto the barrels to regain the strength needed to make these a reliable set of wheels that I can drive and drift on, as everything I build has to look good and function well. After the assembly and welding, it was only the finer details left. I had a new set of wheel decals custom made to all of the factory specs, and even had the original sizing labels remade, but with the new correct widths and offsets, which is a cool little detail that I love about these wheels. The final sizes came to 18 by 10.25 plus 18 on the front, with a 255/40 tire, and 11.25 plus 6 on the rear with a 255/35. These will still have wheel spaces under them to bring them out to the same guard clearance as my most aggressive set of other wheels that I'll run on the car, my Work VSXXs. Thanks for watching my first ever YouTube video. I look forward to making more videos about how I fabricate parts of the car, maybe some drifting, all sorts of things. So thank you.